Hello guys, it's Anime What If Media, and today we're going to be doing What If Belle Had Thor's Hammer? Now, before I start, I'm going to say, sorry for not posting in a week. I had a busy week doing lots of tests because winter break, or Christmas break, whatever it's called, it's close, so they're overworking us with tests. But anyways, let's start. So now, Belle, when he's born, he's still taken under Zeus's care, but he has like a high affinity for lightning. Like a super high affinity for lightning. Like it rivals some thunder god, some lightning gods. And Thor took a notice of this. He wonders. He's he's getting old and he wants to return to heaven soon, so he wonders someone who could use Mjolnir for it. His hammer, Mjolnir. So he talks to Zeus, and Zeus thinks it is actually a good idea. The hammer could seal off some of his lightning power. And if you guys didn't know, Thor's hammer was meant as like a seal, technically a thing to weaken Thor's ability with lightning. You know that, right? Because once you saw Ragnarok, that's when he actually used his true potential of his lightning. Because when he always used the hammer, he was so reliant on the hammer. Then he forgets that he's the god of lightning and thunder. So during the time, Thor and Zeus gave them their blessings, so their lightning magic, his lightning magic is advanced now. He knows multiple lightning magics. He learned how to use the magic without Mjolnir and with Mjolnir. He learned how to do that because Thor didn't want him to be over reliant on Mjolnir like he was. And Zeus decided to teach him some of his lightning magic. And during the time when he was training, his hair, it became an ash blonde color, not like a snow blonde color. Like it's blondish, but also white at the same time. So it's kind of like that. And his eye color is gonna be blue, honestly. And when he reaches Aurario, he's gonna wear the same clothing, and a cloak to hide under a cloak. He's not gonna wear the same clothes. He's gonna wear clothes similar to Thor. If you've seen the first Avengers movies, the sleeveless chainmail, like that with the arm guards, with the red cape. He's gonna wear that, but he has a cloak on. His hammer on his waist. His hammer is on his belt. But anyways, he got a letter from Thor to meet his sister Loki to join her familia. So Bell gets here. He has some Valis already, probably like 10,000 Valis, just given him by his grandfather Zeus. And he thinks of Thor as like his dad. So he gets the last name of Thorson. Because in what was that? What was the culture again? Well, and that type of culture, I forgot the culture's name, but in that type of culture, boys usually have their last name is basically their father's first name and add son to it. Like how Thor's last name is Odin's son because he is Odin's son. So he's Bel Thor's son. And he goes to Adventures Guild to find like the Loki family. Like he asks him like where's the Loki family? So he goes to the Twilight Manor. And Loki and Marvel are manning the recruitments. He says, and Bella walks up and he's asking to meet this goddess Loki. He has a message for her. Loki says, yeah, this is me, and Belle gave Loki like examining her. And Belle gives Loki the note. She's reading it. She's shocked, then she says, oh, alright, nephew, you can join. Raul is shocked, like, what? And he says, what do you mean by nephew? Raul, I think he's an actual character in the Loki family. If he's not, he's just an OC, alright? Loki says that this child was adopted by my brother before he went to technically heaven. And Raul is in shocked, like, this dude is legit Loki's nephew. So he joins the Loki Familia. And he decides to go to like the dungeon. So he gets registered in the Adventures Guild as an adventurer. He's level 1, but his stats are off the charts. Like his strength is 200. No, 200 off the bat because most adventurers start with 0. His strength 200. Everything is 200 except his mana and luck. His mana is, let's just say it's too much to be counted on the system. With mana alone, he could be like a higher level, but anyways. Some of his skills are Zeus's blessed. Like some of his things that he has is Zeus's blessing, Thor's blessing. Extreme. He has lightning magic, and he has max luck stat. All right. He also has what's it called? He also has what's called? What is it called? He also has like tons of lightning magic attack. And that's it. If you guys want to add some more, please leave in chat. For his first day, he goes to a dungeon. It's easy so far. The first 5 floors, easy. When he goes to the 6th floor, he notices a commotion. And he asks one of them to, like, what's happening? And just to let you guys know, Belle is wearing Thor's. He is not wearing the cloak over himself, so he looks really dripped out right now. But anyways, The adventurers is looking at Belle, knows that they're safe, so he tells them that there's a Minotaur. And Belle's like, alright, some sort of challenge in the back of his head, but he says, alright, I'll deal with it. Please point me to the direction. And the dudes point, and he tells them to grab any wandering adventurer to like leave this area, go to the higher floors. He goes sees the Minotaur. Now, Belle, he's not gonna be arrogant or cocky like Thor was. Thor was like that, and he was sent to the mortal world by his father, if you've seen like the Thor movie. So Thor made sure that Belle doesn't become just like him. So Belle still has this kind-hearted soul, and also still wants to become a hero. Now, Belle knows that this level is supposed to be like a safe level for people. Like, they shouldn't be afraid of a Minotaur, so he decides to make quick work with it so people could go back to grinding for their level. So, when he sees a Minotaur, he does like a minor lightning attack just to see if his lightning attacks will do anything. It stuns the Minotaur, so he decides to use Mjolnir as one hit with all of his strength. It did some considerable damage, like it ripped off the Minotaur's arm. He decides to use another one. Then he uses he uses thunder using Mjolnir, and the Minotaur is done. Eyes just arrived, and she saw the whole battle, and she was like, damn, that was cool. Like, in the back of her head, damn, that was cool. Not gonna lie. Because seeing people use magic without chanting, and seeing how he easily dealt with that Minotaur made her feel weak, even though he's a level 1. Now, he was done with it. He went up to the higher floors and told everyone that this situation is done. They could go back down if they want. He told them that they were grateful. And he goes back to some dungeoning. Goes down to his adventure. He goes all the way to the 10th floor. And he decides, yeah, it's enough for today. So he goes back to the Adventurers Guild. The guild. And he exchanges his monster cores for Valis, and he gains like a lot. Like, he's been grinding, and plus with the trainings all he's been doing, he's been carrying a big bag full of Valis. So once he is done, he earned a lot. So he decides to go back to Twilight Manor. Once he's going to the manor, he sees Loki, and Loki tells him to come to her office. Now, if you've seen all the important Loki members, like the Amazon twins, the High Elf, and Lethia, Eyes, Gareth, and the captain of, basically those people, they're there, and Loki decides to introduce him to them, and Loki said, this is the new adventurer joining our group, and he is my nephew. He was adopted by my brother before he went to heaven. His name is Bell Thorson. and I like you guys treat him with respect and everything. And Bet is like he's being Bet. So Bet just scoffs and leaves. The rest try to greet him, and Belle is still nice whatsoever. So he greets everyone fine. I'm just kind of shocked and surprised, but not that much shocked because she just saw how he fought, and he'd be like, no wonder why he's strong. He probably got trained by his father. But anyways, Belle goes back to hit the hay and wakes up. Well, she's walking to the dungeon for early time by himself. Seer goes and gives him a dropped Valis or Monster Core, I think it was Valis, and he things, and she didn't have to give him his breakfast because he already had breakfast at the manor. But anyways, excuse me. But anyways, he promised her that he would come visit after he's done with the monster grind. He goes to the dungeon, grinding. He goes all the way to the 10th floor, goes to the 11th and 12th. Honestly, he'd be doing that. After that, he decides to go back up, cash in his monster course for Valis. He goes to the Hostess of Fertility. That's what the tavern's called. So he goes to the Hostess of Fertility, and he sees some of his familiars, and he decides to join them. While he's joining them, Seer is confused, he's joining the Loki table, what? And then once he sits next to Loki, she's like, oh my gosh, she's part of the Loki familiar, and she'll alright. But anyways, they serve Belle, and they're eating, they have a fun time, and Bet decides to do something and says, why are you even here? Honestly, just because you're adopted by God doesn't mean anything to me. And Belle knows how to deal with this type of people, so he decides, how about a Spartan? Once you're sober up, you could have a Spartan to test my skills. If you're doubting me. And plus, if you think you could even qualify to fight me, he's being a little arrogant, to try to pick up my hammer. Only those who are worthy could actually pick this up. If you're not even worthy of picking this hammer up, you're not even worthy of fighting me. So he puts his hammer down. And he says, go pick it up. Bet is getting angry, so he tries to pick up the hammer. He uses one hand because he saw how Val easily picked it up. So he uses one hand. He can't move it. So he uses two hands. It's not even budging. He's trying to pick up the hammer. And Bet says, what the hell? What is wrong with it? I'm saying, he says, Mjolnir, and it comes into his hand. He says, "My so-called adopted father used this weapon before. He says only those who are worthy can only wield it. And it seems you aren't worthy, so you're wasting my time." Like, honestly, Bell was savage. He was being a savage that time. Like, honestly, Bet was like mad, and the rest of the Loki family are confused. And Loki is like, seriously, he gave him that hammer, really? Well, then she says that explains his high affinity for lightning. It's probably just to dampen his lightning magic a little bit. And the only person who actually heard that was Rivia, and Rivia was like, he has that much lightning magic that he needs a weapon or something like to contain it. But anyways, the next day he goes and basically go and try to do some adventuring. But he heard it was the monstrophilia, so he goes to do the monstrophilia. He goes to attend the monstrophilia, but he goes to host a fertility for like some sort of breakfast. And while he's gonna go get breakfast, Ryu tells Belle that Seer forgot her purse, so please give it back to her. And he says, "Alright, I'll give it back." While he's walking, another point of view, Loki and Eyes are meeting up with Freya. And Freya is like talking about some stuff. And if we're gonna go with the canon lore we're kind of mixing up Thor and the try to pick up girls in dungeon. Freya is gonna be the mother of Thor and Loki, so even though Loki and Freya look the same age, she's older. Alright? So they're talking like mother and daughter do. Alright? Then she's talking about sorry about that. Then she's talking about someone that she wants to join in her familia, or someone to take as her interest. I'm gonna leave it off for right now. I'm gonna be doing a new type of genre. What if? For after this video is gonna be Konosuba type of anime. Is that one anime where this person dies? He meets this goddess named Aqua and gets reincarnated and all that. I'm just gonna add my own twist to it. I'm gonna leave you guys off. Please like and subscribe. And the like goal for this video is 30 likes if you want to continue this. See you. Bye.